Hello, this is Garth at Event Espresso. I wanted to take a moment and explain uh, pending payment transactions and specifically payments that have failed. So someone has attempted to register or purchase tickets, but their purchase fails for whatever reason. Um, I'll show you how to find these transactions in Event Espresso as well as to look up a little bit more information in the payment method logs to identify possibly what has happened. So what I'm showing you here is my transactions list table here in Event Espresso. So if you go to Event Espresso and click on transactions, this will show you your transactions history. Here I want to focus on two of them, transaction 23 and transaction 24. Here, transaction 23, we can see has been successful. It's green. It says it's been paid via PayPal Commerce. Transaction 24 is still blue. You can scroll down to the bottom of this page and see what the different colors mean. But transaction 24 is still blue, and it's not been paid. It tells you how much it is. You can click on the View Transaction Details, and that will open another screen, and it'll give you some information about this. You'll see that eventually this was successful. Going back to the list table, this is how you can see that these are pending payment. And you can see if someone has made a payment attempt or not. If they have made an attempt to make a payment, it will list this information down here in the payment details. So in this case, you see that this one had a payment attempt at 11:55, 11:57, and then 12:04, and the one at 12:04 was successful. The other were not. Okay, so what do you do when you see payments come in but they're not complete? Or you get a customer that says, I can't pay, I keep trying to pay and it doesn't work. So what you can do is you want to make note of the transaction IDs here. Okay, we're going to look at 23 and 24. Then what you'll do is you'll scroll down, go to Event Espresso, then down at the bottom you'll see payment methods. I've already got this opened up here. You'll go to payment methods and click on logs. These are the payment method logs. So depending on which payment method you're using, whether it's Stripe, PayPal, Square, etc., they will be different logs of payment attempts. And on this screen, you're going to see two columns, well, several columns, but you're going to pay attention specifically to the ID and the transaction ID. Now, I said previously, we're going to look at transaction 23 and 24. If you scroll down here, you'll see several entries for both transaction 23 and transaction 24. Okay, so this is how you identify which payment logs you want to see. So we're going to focus on 23 and 24. And then what you can do is you're going to find transaction 23 and transaction 24, and then you're going to open up these probably in different tabs. These are different ID log files of when the system tried to process a payment, either create a payment, create an order. We got a response from the payment gateway, and it tries to log that information so that you have a way to look up more detail. So in this case, I'm going to open one of these up. I'm going to go to transaction 23. You'll see that sometimes they'll just look like this. This is just a statement of what the transaction amount, the time, the payment options. Sometimes you'll see more details. So in this case, this is transaction 23. It says, and this is using PayPal Commerce, and these are formatted differently, and different information is provided based upon the payment gateway. So this is PayPal Commerce. You'll see that it says there was an error. This payment, the order was not approved. If you scroll down, you'll see several areas. You'll see that the status was it was declined. And you can scroll down even further and see that there is a processor response code. The response code is 5100. Now, if you search the internet for the PayPal response code 5100, you'll come to this type of a document where the response code for 5100 is card is declined. The bank error declined it. Okay, so that's, let me go back to this. That's 5100. Okay, let's look at another one. Here's another one, a PayPal response where the card was declined. Again, the card was declined, and you'll see the PayPal response, the processor response, the response code is 9500. Let's go over here. Let's find 9500. It's a fraudulent card. So that tells us why this card was declined for this customer. Um, and here is a completed transaction, but again, the card was declined. Um, and it'll tell you a response code of 5400. Let's see what that one is. 54. Card is expired. So if you go to these payment logs, again, these are the transactions over here. If you go to Event Espresso, payment methods, logs, and you go to the transaction ID, you can say, well, I need to look up more information about. I open up all the ones that were applicable to transaction 24, and then I can look and see what information was provided for transaction 24, and you'll get more information why it was declined. So it's helpful to know that Event Espresso is working, it's communicating with the payment processor, but the status, whether it was declined or approved, and the processor response, the response code, it can be helpful to know exactly why it happened. So hopefully that's helpful to understand some of the statuses of the incomplete or failed payments from customers in Event Espresso.